Jeez. Well, there's a nice little bear down here on the left side of the pipeline. I can drive up there, see if we can get close to it. The only problem here is that this spot, it's wide open. But I'll see what we can do. I'll drive up here as close as I can get, kind of a thing, and then I'll hop out and see if we can kind of sneak up to it with the old 30-30 and get a shot off. Anyways, we'll see what we can do here. Alright, so we're gonna start stalk on this bear here. Put a bullet in the chamber, and now we'll slowly start walking up there. He's in just a slight little dip, and he kind of keeps going down and coming back up. So we'll see if we can try to keep some of these willows between the bear and us, and just see if we can work up to him. Unfortunately, we have no real cover, so there's no kind of good way of doing this. Basically, just gonna walk in a straight line, and sometimes they just stand there. They don't really care much about you. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, the wind just turned. The wind's going towards them. So unfortunately, we just gotta sit here and wait for the wind to shift. He stopped eating. He's just standing there doing nothing. He's just kind of sniffing around. So basically, we're just at a standstill right now. Once the wind stops and he goes back to eating, then we'll keep going up. He's starting to walk away. So he just slowly walked away. So I think what we'll do is we'll walk up here, and I'll see if we can get situated in the ditch, and then we'll just stay squatted down in the ditch and see if he comes back out. Alrighty, well, we sat around for 10 or 15 minutes there, and he didn't come back out, so time to move on. One good thing with bears, though, is usually once they have a food source, like this green grass on this pipeline, he ain't gonna move far from here. So we might not get him right now, but it doesn't mean that when we're done in this area, on our way out, he won't be back out eating grass. I mean, like even right now, just walking away, he could have been just standing there staring at us and waiting for us to leave before he comes back out. Like they can be a little tricky at times, but they're also pretty easy to figure out too. So we're gonna pack everything back up, hit the road here, move on to the next one, and maybe when we're all said and done on our way out, he'll be back out, we get another stalk on him. Well, I just finished a little afternoon hike with the dogs. There's walking around in behind the camp, and end up coming back out onto the road. Once we got onto the road, I could see a bear way down the line here. So quickly run back into camp, grab the truck, drive down the road here, see if we can get this bear. I'm trying my best to kind of stay in the trees, kind of in the shadows. We'll see if I can walk up there or not. Pretty well have to walk up to this kilometer sign, which I'm about 150 yards away. Oh no. Somebody on the quad's coming. Dirty. Well, that's the end of that one. I'm not impressed about that. But that's what happens when you're hunting out on public roads and stuff, you know. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit down here in the little bit of shade that I got, and I'm just gonna see if that bear comes back out. That's the joys of using old 30-30. If that would have been a hunt with the 300 or 30-06, I would have been a dead bear a long time ago. I got to about 125 yards. 100 is about max that I want to shoot with the open sights. So close. I was right there, right in the ballpark. But oh well. We'll see if he comes back out. The bear came back out. He's between me and the truck. That son of a... Well, unfortunately, he didn't come back out a second time, but that's alright. We know where he's at. I've seen him here a few times before. It might be the bear that I've seen hanging up down the road, or it could be the same one that hangs out just past the pond up here. So yeah, we know he's in the area. But yeah, we'll head back to the truck and keep driving. Alright, so our bear that got spooked off, we decided to go down to the end of the road, turn around, come back. On our way back, there's another bear. He's right around the corner here, so I'm hoping he didn't take off and start running. So I'm gonna turn on all the cameras. We're gonna go after him. Close. You on the bear? Oh, hold on, boy. we go. You wouldn't die. Jeez. Oh man. I shot him in the ditch there. He ran in here. When he was laying there, I could see he was laying down. So I came up to him with the bolt in the chamber and picked up his head. Shot him. He got up, ran over here, put another one in him, and then he flopped over here. And for some reason, he was still trying to get up again, so might as well put him out of his misery. But I almost had to use my old bullet. You see, I shot him 3 times, reached in my pocket, grabbed the old bullet. Almost had to use it. But yeah, we'll pull him out of the trees here, and then we'll see here in just a couple seconds. Oh, there we go. He's not a big bear, but for some reason, very, very tough. I've shot much bigger bears that have died way easier than this guy. What was that, 3 or 4 shots out of the 300 Win Mag. I'm not too happy about that, but it is what it is. And when you're dealing with bears, I like to shoot them until they stop moving. That way when you come up and you grab them, they're not grabbing you back. But anyways, we got a little bit of work to do. Get this guy quartered up, packed out to the truck, and then next time you see us, we'll be in the kitchen. Alrighty, so we made it back into the kitchen, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be cooking up some black bear fajitas with some birch syrup, and doing pretty well like a honey garlic bear fajita. So here we're going to start off with some bear backstrap that's all cleaned up, and we're going to keep it nice and simple. Just using some garlic plus. And then in our pan, just do 1 or 2 tablespoons of oil. And we're going to cook this nice and low and slow for probably 10 or 15 minutes on each side. And while we wait, I will start cutting up a bunch of onions and some green peppers and a bunch of garlic. Alrighty, so we've been cooking on this for quite a few minutes here now. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to pull it off, and we're going to get our onions and our bell peppers starting to cook. And once all of our onions and bell peppers are cooked up, we'll throw in our garlic. We'll slice up our bear and put it back in there with our sauce, and then we'll bring everything back up to a boil and start to reduce it down. And then also with it boiling, it'll finish cooking the bear meat so it reaches at least that 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So with all of our onions and stuff here, put a little bit more oil. Here we got 2 onions, 1 red bell pepper, and 1 orange pepper. Throw that all in there. Once it gets all mixed up with the oil and we get all the onions separated, we'll sweat it all out a little bit, and then we'll add a little bit of butter to it. And just before we slice up our bear, we'll also add in probably about 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. Here we got everything starting to brown up, getting nice and soft and caramelized. So we're going to be adding our garlic. We got our bear sliced up, and then we're going to be making our sauce. So to make our sauce here, we're going to start off with some soy sauce. And with this, I'm really not too sure how much we really need. About here, so that's whatever, 1/4 cup or so. Then we're going to take some Worcester sauce, give her about a teaspoon of that, and we got this hoisin sauce, and with this we'll give her about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. And then the secret ingredient is our homemade birch syrup. And if you want to see how I make this, I'll leave a little link in the description below. There'll also be a little tag up in the corner of the video there for you. And basically, whatever we have in here, we're going to double it with this. So kind of equal parts. So now we need about a half a cup. So we're sitting right about here now. Maybe give her just a little smidge more. Now with all of our sauces in here, we'll give her a real good mix. And then once all of our garlic starts to sweat and you can start to smell the garlic, we'll add our sliced up bear back chop back in there and cook it up a little bit more, and then we'll add in our little sauce. Alright, so now that our garlic is starting to sweat and you can smell it real fragrant now, take our bear back chop, throw this back in there, and we'll give her a nice little mix, get it all separated a bit. And then basically what we're going to be doing, we're just going to take our sauce that we made up and simply just dump it in. Then what you want is you want to have just enough where it just barely covers everything. You're going to bring this up to a boil, then that way it'll finish cooking off your bear meat. And then you want to have it nice and simmered until it thickens up and becomes kind of sticky and nice and sweet. But now we're just going to sit here with it on a fairly low heat and let it simmer and boil and finish cooking all of our bear meat. So we've boiled everything down here and we're getting it nice and simmered down. And while we're waiting for the last final touches, Blaine's gonna be making up a little fajita. We got all of the toppings: sour cream, salsa, jalapenos, lettuce, cheese, mayonnaise, everything that you need for a good fajita. So once Blaine gets one all made up, he'll take a bite. He'll let us know how it tastes.
All right, she's good to go. First taste. Wrap her up. Get in there. All right. Delicious.
Well, you guys, turned out pretty good again, I guess. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the little like button down on the bottom there. Leave us a comment or two. Subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next one. Hey, buddy. Hey, we're looking for bears. Hey, you're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, you're a good boy. Watch for them bears, okay, friend? Yeah, we gotta watch for them bears. Good boy. Good boy.